Welcome back to Nano Education. In this video, this is a Python tutorial for JavaScript developers. The reason I created this tutorial especially is because there are many people out there who know JavaScript but can't find a tutorial that literally is like you know what a variable is, you know what a function is, just want to know the new syntax. So this course is all about that. We're just going to compare JavaScript to Python so that way you can remember Python through your JavaScript skills. So that way you'll be reusing your JavaScript tools skills in Python. And this is part 1 of the series. We will try to cover a lot in this tutorial because we're not actually doing that much explanation. We're just going over the new syntax, reviewing a bit. So let's get started. So what is this course about? So obviously this course is targeted at JavaScript developers. So in this course we'll be looking at all concepts of Python from the perspective of JavaScript. So I will be spending less time on concepts, since between all programming languages it is very similar. So example, a variable definition doesn't change from JavaScript to Python. So I will have the exact same definition of a variable if I was using Python and or JavaScript or even C#, C++, Objective-C, Swift, whatever. So I will be having a lot more type of these languages through different languages perspective. So stay tuned on my channel. So what we will discuss in this part. So we'll talk about section 1, which is the programming basics. They're not really basics for you, but that's what you would call it. So we'll be basically printing hello world variables. We'll learn how to take user input. This is something that we will not be doing in Node, JavaScript. Type conversion, string concatenation, which is formatting, escaping character, basic math usage, and defining functions. So here are some pre-requirements, or like pre-tools. You need, I assume that you have Visual Studio Code or any other code editor, I don't care. Python version 3, so I want at least version 3. We're not going to be doing Python version 2. I don't even know the syntax that well of it, but I do know version 3. And then Node.js. So if you know, like you have Node.js installed, it'll be pretty good, because that way you can run the JavaScript code as well as I am doing. So some knowledge, you should have definitely some JavaScript knowledge, because this course is targeted at JavaScript developers. I expect you have basic Node.js. Maybe even if you don't know Node.js, you'll probably learn it by the end of this video. So it's like a double dip course. You have to know how to use a terminal using your code editor. So like knowing how to create and edit files, knowing how to group your files and all that. And then get version control. That's optional. It's okay if you don't have it. Alright, so I will see you guys in my code editor. In this section, I want to gonna get started printing hello world. So I'm going to do this in JavaScript first. So it would be basically console.log, alright? And then we want to say hello world, so that will be a string. Alright, simple. And then we get our semicolon. Not required semicolon, still good to go. We do node.app.js to run a JavaScript file. So this is Node.js. It threw an error. Oh, okay. Why did you throw an error? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run node app.js. Hello world, yay! So we got it. All right, and then the same thing in Python. So we use print in Python. Same thing for string. Hello world. So we want, if you're on a Mac, you want to use Python 3 app.py and hello world. All right. So the reason we're using Python 3, so I'm gonna quickly explain that to you. So it's because I'm gonna explain this in comments. All right here. Is that because Macs come with Python 2, all right? But we don't want to use it. So instead, that's why we're gonna use Python 3 as a command. On Windows, you're totally fine. So on Windows, you will run Python app.py, right? Which it did run, but this is valid Python 2 and 3 syntax. So in Python 2, just a quick heads up, you will use, this will be valid Python 2, alright? No semicolon. You gotta get used to that. I should get 2 hello worlds. Alright, that worked. Now I don't know why it's giving me this error. Missing parentheses. Oh, so this is thinking of Python 3 actually. But I just displayed Python 2. So this is Python 2 hello world. So before we move on to variables, I just want to quickly talk about the Python variable rules. So there are definitely rules we need to follow. And just like in JavaScript, we do have rules, but Python rules, they're a little different. Alright, so variables must start with a letter or an underscore. Alright, that is a must. Your variables must start with a letter and or underscore. So the rest of the variable can be anything else. Variables are case sensitive. So right here, this name is not the same as this name. Alright? You do not need a declaration, and then the data type is figured out by Python. So you can see here. This is an underscore name under Nano Education, alright? That's why I put it like that. This is lowercase. So these are all three different variables, alright? This one starts with underscore, this is lowercase n, this is an uppercase n. And they all are obviously assigned different values, but you could assign the same ones. But basically this is underscore and they're all the same, alright? And I did follow all the rules. And see, I did not declare I'm not like let name or var name, or I'm not like name colon string or name colon integer, nothing like that. It's all figured out by Python. Alright, so now we can start writing variables. So we just went over our variable rules. So now we are technically certified to write variables. So in Python, let me go ahead and write a variable of name which equals Nano Education. Now in the same thing in app.js, so we have a couple of ways. So we can write let name equal Nano Education, or we could define this as a constant, or we can as a regular variable. So I'll just leave it let. Alright? Now I'm going to define another variable underscore name and call it under Nano Education. Alright? And let's do the same thing here. Let name equal under Nano Education. So then let's go to print a variable. So print name. Same thing here. Console.log name. And let's go see the results. So we have Python 3 app.py and then node app.js. Alright, so we got Nano.js. Let's now add that underscore, and that should change up our results. Let me just save them. Under Nano Education. Alright, so that proves it. And let's just say we turn this in uppercase and run it. It will not run. Yep, it couldn't find a variable. Instead, you're going to make that uppercase with it. So, there. Nano Education. Same thing goes here. If I was to make this an uppercase, leave it lowercase, run, it'll fail. Instead, you're going to make it an uppercase, and it still doesn't want to run. There, now it should run. There, Nano Education. So it doesn't matter saving. Alright, so we have finally applied our rules of variables. So we have talked about variables, and don't variables store data? So we got to know their data types. So in this quick section, I want to quickly go over data types. So we have data types in both Python and JavaScript. So what I'm going to do is just assign some variables. So I'll say like name is equal to Nano Education. Let's just make a number is equal to 1. Is smart is going to be a boolean. So we're going to say true. And then we have a float. So we're just going to say, I don't know, points is equal to 2.5. Alright, so now, same thing, I'm going to assign. So I'm going to say let name. So I'm going to do the exact same thing in JavaScript. So let name equal Nano Education. Let number equal 1. Let is smart equals true. So look, in JavaScript, we're used to writing our booleans with a lowercase. In Python, gotta write it with an uppercase. Alright, that's one new thing I know. And then let points equal 2.5, right? But in JavaScript, there's no difference for that, so we can just leave that out. It'll be the exact same thing, but I'll go ahead, still write it because I have to show you. Alright. So what I want to do is just print the type of, alright, so the type. Like what type of variables are these? So we're just going to start with name. Same thing in JavaScript, so we'll do console.log type of name. Let's start both. So we'll do Python 3 app.py is a string. str stands for string, and then node app.js. String. Alright. Let's make a number. So just save. It's an integer. And then this is the number here. So there's a number type here, but an integer here. Let's make it is underscore smart. Same thing here is underscore smart. When we rerun, this is a bool. So that stands for boolean. This is a boolean here too. Alright, so in Python, there's some shortcuts you can kind of see, like strintbol. But in JavaScript, it's more like human friendly, so it's more like full words. And then we have points. So I want to show you exactly what I'm saying. So after I write it, and then when we run it, this is a float on the Python side, but a number on the JavaScript side. So there's no difference for decimal number. Alright, so this is pretty much it for data types. So let's go and talk about some math operations, right? So math operations allow us to basically add, divide, subtract, multiply, and whatever. And these are both available in both JavaScript and Python. So basically we can test these out. Let's just say we do 3 plus 4. So we take two integers and add them together. So when we run Python 3 app.py, we get 7. Same thing if we do console.log 3 plus 4 and I do node app.js, I get 7. Alright, same thing. So we can also subtract. So if I was to do that, it will be -1, true. And then if I subtract here, same thing. Now, let's go and test something. So let's just create a variable name. No, let's number and set it equal to 3 plus 4. And then let's print number. And then we want to also print the type of number. Let's go and see what our result. So we get an integer and we get 7. So even if we put this before that and still run it, it still becomes an integer because it evaluates its expression before we even do anything. Alright, so before it evaluates expression, so if you want to read the whole entire expression, you gotta put quotes around it. And then when you print it, it gives you 3 plus 4 with a string. Right, same thing applies here. Let's just say we set a variable. Let's just say let number also equal 3 plus 4. And then we do a console.log of our number, but then also a console.log of our type of which is a number. But we know the number. Let's go and test it out. So node app.js. 7 and is a type of number. It's same thing here. It evaluates it before we get to move on. And let's just say we want to know it just as 3 plus 4. Do that. Rerun. We got string 3 plus 4. Alright, that's what a string does. It basically preserves value. Like, your value is not going to change. Alright, this won't evaluate. It's not being seen as integers. Alright. So we can actually do other math operations. So we can do multiplication. So, yep, 3 times, oh, that was a string, so no way to evaluate it. So 12, we can divide. This should give us like 0.75, yep. And it's as a float, see? So this was a decimal number, so it gave us as a float. Very cool. So so that's what Python is basically doing in the background. So when we assign a variable, it immediately looks for the type of it, and it assigns it on its own, alright? We can also do some complex math. So we can say like 3 plus 4 minus 7. I mean, this is basic computation still. Class integer, which is 0. We're going to do plus 7. That will give us a larger number. 14. We can also do like 5 and then 2 plus 3. Right? And then times 2. We can do something like that. And it doesn't work because it's not a callable function just because of that. So it's not callable. Now it should be callable. It's still not. Alright. You gotta put the multiplication sign, and then work. So we got 21 with the float, even though we have this long equation. Alright, so you gotta know, like, it's not like you can do order of operations. So you can't. It's like, if that's what you saw, it's not like a full calculator yet. And I do, on my channel, I do have a video that shows how to build a basic calculator. So yeah, you might as well check it out. It's very, so basically everything that we can do in JavaScript that you will learn, you can actually bring it over to Python and numbers. Alright, so that's it for now. Alright, so we're going to learn how to get input from the user. So this is doable in JavaScript, so this is quick warning, it's doable. But it's very difficult, very inconvenient, like highly unrequested. I mean, especially in Node.js, obviously. So in app.js, you usually, so let's just say you have the document dot, let's just say query selector. So let's just say you were like selecting an element from the DOM, and let's just say you select an input. You would do in like a the value of it. So once it's, so what we will do is that we'll actually take a btn and then like wait for it to submit and then grab the value. All right, that's how you would do it. But in Python we can do it via the terminal. So we won't need our JS file because we can't do that right now. So let's go ahead and ask the user something. So let's just say input, and we'll just say, what is your name? If we say, not that, so we want to do Python 3 app.py, not app.py. What is your name? We can say, let's say, Nano. Alright, so quick. So you can see that we don't have enough space. So we do that. What is your name? Nano. And we add that space. Yay. So that actually would work. So let's just say we want to preserve this value and then print it. So what we will do is that to preserve value and print, you want to do inside a variable. So we'll just say name equals input, what is your name? Alright, and then leave that space, and then we can print name. So I want to go ahead and comment this out quickly. Run it. What is your name? Nano. Prints Nano. Alright, simple. So this is how you get a user's input. So let's go and do some string concatenation. Alright, concatenation. So this thing also exists in JavaScript. So basically, how is it? So let's just say that my goal is basically I want to print someone's name. So I will be like name, and I want to say how are you, something like that. So how would I print that? So my goal will be basically is to be, we will just basically assign a variable, let's just say greeting, and make it equal, and then so what we will go ahead and do is just say so we'll write Nano, so in a string, and then we'll say plus how are you. Alright, and then we can print greeting. And let's just say let's see how it works. So Python 3 app.py. So Nano, how are you? So once again, just like JavaScript, we put that space to get the basically the space between, and we get Nano, how are you? So we also put so we can actually concatenate more, and we just put that and then have a comma. So a nice grammar comma. Nano, how are you? That doesn't work. Instead, we're gonna do like this. So that makes it a lot better. Nano, how are you? Alright. So let's just say this was a variable. Alright. So we'll have it be name as our variable. So it's gonna assign a variable name is equal to Nano. And I run Nano, how are you? We still got the same result. Let's just say I was saying this to Nano. Let's just say education. Very funny. Education, how are you? Alright, that's what we were trying to achieve. Alright, same thing done in JavaScript. We can say let name equal Nano. And then we'll just say greeting equals, let's just say name plus how are you. And make sure we put that space. And then console.log greeting. Alright. Node app.js. Nano, how are you? Alright, so we get that. And obviously we might want a comma. Alright? So Nano, how are you? Alright. So this is how you basically concatenate. So this is actually a very good way. There are also other ways. We have f strings and everything, which we will talk about in the future section.